life. It will mirror your story of when you got started and how you started and how you wrapped one person, then another, and then your business grew, and it grew because you have the same opportunity that we've had, and you can build the same amount of momentum and volume in your organization that we have in the company. Is anyone interested in that? And so what it takes is you capturing that vision and you learning the necessary skills to be able to do that. And you learn them along the way. You know, I found this product because I was with the company prior for 6.5 years. Anybody ever networked before besides at work?
Yep.
Networked before.
Yep.
See, a lot of us have and a lot of us haven't. Well, I was with the company 6.5 years, and I started in that company for 2 reasons. Our son Adam and our daughter Kay. Kay was born, and Dave and I made a decision in our family that I would become a stay-at-home mom. And I couldn't wait to be a stay-at-home mom. I had been selling IBM computers, and we worked very long hours. It was a fun job, but it required a lot of commitment. So I became a stay-at-home mom, and for 7 years, I just played with the kids. Just enjoyed life. And then, is Dave in the house? I know he's in the back. Dave, are you in the house? Big Daddy's here. I know he's here. He's probably in the back. That's not him, but somebody's waving. So, you know, Dave started saying that job word. You know, as in you need to get one. You know, we need some extra money. Things were starting to fall apart. You know, we needed a new car, a new washing machine, and Dave was working as hard as he could. He was in sales and in construction, and we had a great life, but he could foresee the future. He said, you know, Pam, before you know it, Kay and Adam are going to be driving, they're going to need insurance, they're going to be wanting to go to college, and, you know, we want to be able to provide that for them. We don't want them to have student debt. And, you know, all I could see is getting through the day. And so I realized I needed to look for an opportunity. I needed to look for something part-time. And I had a degree in business education. So I called the school and I said, I'd like to substitute teach. Yeah, somebody's already laughing. Any teachers in the house? Wow, let's give it up for the teachers. Yeah. I can assure you, you keep staying with That Works and you'll probably leave that profession. But you'll be teaching adults how to become debt-free, and that's as honorable as teaching. So I called the school and I said, hey, I want to be on the substitute teachers list. And so the first day that they called me in, it was pretty cool. The second day, they put me in 8th grade music class. See, I'm not like Ray Hartman. I can't play an instrument. I can't sing a song. He can do that. And after that 8th grade music class, I got the worst headache of my life. And I said, you know, this is not worth $50. Take me off the list. So I never substitute taught again. And so we took a customer out to dinner one night. That's what Dave did a lot. He did a lot of entertaining, and we still do. Took a customer out and told the customer jokingly, I said, you know, I put up a job description. Dave tells me I need to get a job, so I put out a job description, and I told Dave about it. And so I gave him a little indication of what it was like. I said, I'm looking for a job where I can get up in the morning leisurely with my kids. Because you know what it's like to get up and get hectic with the kids in the morning, trying to get them off to school? Anybody have a daughter like mine? If the line on her socks doesn't line up perfectly across her toes, she implodes. Anyone have a child like that? They don't change. And she would implode right when the bus was coming. And I don't know why, but everything had to come off. And we would have to start over again. And then once I get them off to school, you know, I want to be able to read from a book that inspires me and drink a cup of coffee. And then if you don't work out in the morning, it doesn't happen, does it? So I wanted to be able to work out in the morning. And you know, by the time that I got home from that and showered, it was lunchtime. Pretty good so far the day, right? So you call up a couple girlfriends and you have lunch. And then after that, you might need a mani-pedi, a deep tissue massage to get through the stress, a psychiatric visit, appointments, you know, throughout the afternoon. Then 3 o'clock comes, and you've got to get the kids off the bus, and you want to give them a healthy snack, right? And then you might could fit in a little bit of work right then, but then it's dinner, bath, bedtime, and about, 20 minutes with Big Daddy. Does that sound like a good day? Yeah, that's an awesome day. Oh, and I wanted to make a 6-figure income. Well, no one was hiring. Not one person was hiring for that. So, that gentleman that we had dinner with that night, that I told that job description to, called me about a week later. He said, Pam, at a local college near you in Virginia, I was living in Roanoke, Virginia. Anybody from Virginia in the house? He said, you can go to the local college. They're going to have an opportunity meeting. There's this company that I think you might be interested in, you could be a part of, and it sounded really weird. Anybody been called to an opportunity meeting? Anybody ever had one of those phone calls? They're kind of strange. They don't tell you really what it is, do they? Did you invite people here today? Who invited guests here today? How many of you invited guests? How many of you did not have any of your guests show up? And you're still waiting on them, aren't you? There's probably people out here waiting for their guests to show up, right? Don't you think? Y'all can come on in because they're not coming. I can promise you, they'll tell you they're coming. Do they tell you they're coming? Yeah, they're coming. They're still texting, saying, I'm on my way, there's a lot of traffic. They're not coming. You know why we tell him, like I told him, I'll go, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. You know, he's one of my husband's best clients. So I said, I'll go. So that was a Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, he called and he said, what'd you think? And I said, about what? I'd already forgotten. He did something pretty smart. He goes, Pam, you know what? They're going to be there next Tuesday night, and the Tuesday night after that, and the Tuesday night after that, and the Tuesday night after that. So you might as well just go, because I'm going to call you every Monday to remind you, and then I'm going to call you on Wednesday to see what you thought. So I said, Dave, we're going to have to go to this opportunity meeting. So the next Tuesday night, I said, it's date night. Let's go out to dinner afterwards. So we go. I'm the only woman in the room. And the room was packed. It's a little classroom, full of classroom seats. Packed full of guys, men that I knew, men from corporate America. One of the gentlemen was a former college basketball coach at the college that we love. And I thought, wow, something's going on here. And I thought, wow, I'm the only woman in the room. This is pretty fun already. and so, I went from sitting in my chair with my arms crossed thinking about dinner, hoping the sitter was getting the kids' homework done and bath time and all of that. And then they get to the opportunity page where they showed if you get a few, who get a few, who get a few. You know that page I'm talking about? The money page. It was an old-timey flip chart, that they were going through. So they got to the money page and I thought, wow, when I sold computers, I would sell a computer, I would earn a commission, and that was it. Every month I started over. But the service contracts were renewed annually. That's where you made your money, residual income. And I thought, well, I could get a few, who can get a few, who can get a few. I can do that. And I went from sitting, slumped in my chair, arms folded, not at all interested, to sitting bolt upright in my chair, looking at that, and the vision was open in my mind, and I have not slept since that night. Was July 1994. That's how turned on I got about this industry called network marketing direct sales. It was going to be my ticket. I was going to be able to have that day that I wanted with my children and still bring in a strong income residually. I got it. Some of you don't quite have it yet. You will by the end of the day. You will. You will start to understand that this is a possibility for you, a vision for you. If you just get started, a few will get a few who get a few. It doesn't happen overnight. It took me years to understand how to keep it simple. It took me years to understand the art of duplication. It took me years to get over myself, to understand that it's not about me, it's about them. It's about building relationships. And I love that company, and I was with that company for 6.5 years, but it was a company that wasn't growing in the right direction. The owner sold it. It was bought by a corporation. The love went out of that company. The energy went out of that company. I knew I needed to do something different. And I had built a lot of relationships in that company, a lot of friends. Have y'all made more friends with It Works than you ever had in your life? For life. I feel like I could fly anywhere into a country, not know anyone, and find someone in the black, green, and bling that would bring me into their home. That's how incredible this opportunity is. And so, with that, I developed a friendship with a gentleman that lived about an hour away from me. He was getting ready to go on a project with a church there. He was going to be gone 18 months. And he overheard a conversation through the Hispanic ministry about a product that would turn, tighten, and firm that a group of scientists and doctors had developed in the heart of Mexico City. It was sold throughout Europe and Mexico as a spa treatment. Deep tissue massaged into the skin at upwards of $300 a treatment. And they wanted to bring this product into the most vain, instant gratification country that they could think of. The United States of America. Don't we love instant gratification without changing lifestyle? But guess what? So does France. So does Spain. So does the United Kingdom. So does Canada. We all love this, but it has to work, doesn't it? It has to work. It has to be proven. And so I said, wow, are you kidding? They really want to do this? Now, how did you find out about it? He said, I overheard a conversation. I said, well, I need to know more. I didn't really believe. Was anybody skeptical when they first heard about this? Were you skeptics? Yeah, I'm like, what could possibly do that? And how come me? How come me? And I said, can you get me on the phone with him? He said, I'll try. A couple hours later, I'm in the dining room and the phone rings, and you know, we had a phone on the kitchen wall. It still had a cord on it. Y'all remember those? Some of you don't. So it had a long cord because I like to pay so I could walk. And the phone rings, and on the other end of the line is Luis Maharas. Luis Maharas, and another doctor, and this doctor was from Mexico. He said hello. That was it. That's about all he could speak in English. And, you know, Luis is from Spain. He's still hard to understand, isn't he? Now he's gotten better. Who's heard Luis speak? It's amazing, isn't it? And so I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to sound intelligent.